Hi everybody, this is Yosarian from BoyMeetsPhone.com. What I have here today is the HTC First. This is the first phone to ship with Facebook Home as its default launcher. Taking a look at the hardware, up front we have a 4.3-inch high-def display. This is at a resolution of 1280 by 720, so it's a 720p display. This is a Super LCD 2 panel, not a Super LCD 3 panel, but it is rather nice, has good viewing angles, nice color reproduction, but it could be a little bit brighter. Outdoor visibility does suffer a little bit due to the fact that the screen does not get too bright, but it's all in all not terrible. Below the display, we have 3 capacitive buttons for back, home, and menu. Double tapping the home button will bring up the multitasking, and pressing and holding the home button will bring up Google Now, because this does ship with Android 4.1 Jelly Bean. Above the display we have a 1.6 megapixel fixed focus wide angle camera. We also have a status light, which is over in this corner, and there's also a proximity and ambient light sensor up there. Up top we have the 3.5mm headphone jack, a noise cancellation mic, and the power and screen lock button, which is nicely defined. On this side we have the micro USB port. It's a micro USB 2 port, and we also have the micro SIM ejector tray. And there's a little pinhole to eject the tray. On the other side we have the volume rocker, which is again nicely defined and nicely separated and easy to fill out and offers good feedback. On the bottom we have a speaker grill similar to the one you see on the HTC One, the HTC One X, and One X Plus, using the drill holes. On the back we have the HTC, Facebook, and AT&T logo, and right here we have the 5 megapixel autofocus camera with a single LED flash. This is a unibody design, so you cannot access the battery. It also means you can expand the memory, so there's no taking out the battery if you need to. There is a 1200 milliamp hour battery inside this phone. Overall, I do have to say I really like the design of the phone. It feels really nice in the hand. It's really nice and curved. It's not too big. It's the 4.3-inch display. It's considered small nowadays compared to some other phones, but it's a very nice display, and the overall feel of the device is very nice. The color, I personally wouldn't choose white, just because white does tend to get dirty, but you do have the option of getting either black, a pale blue, or red version. But overall, I do like the design of the device. The HTC is normally really good, especially when it comes to unibody design, and this is just another case of that. The HTC First is the first device, like I said earlier, to ship with Facebook Home pre-installed. I should probably start this off by saying I've never been that into using Facebook. However, after using this phone, or while using this phone, I did find myself actually using the social network more. There's some slight annoyances with the software. First is by default, as soon as you press the power button, you have access to the phone. You can see right here is all the notifications. I do like how the notifications are right there, and you can access them. If you want to open a notification, you just tap on it, and it'll say tap again to open. If you want to dismiss something, you can just grab it. So you want to dismiss this, and just grab it. Oh, I just dismissed all of them. But if you want to dismiss just one of them, you just grab it and swipe it. If you want to dismiss all of them, you do what I just did and grab them all and swipe them, and they'll all disappear. Once you get rid of the notifications, which you have, you can either swipe down to get rid of the notifications, which I don't have any notifications right now, so they're not going to be swiping down. Nothing to swipe down on. You have your friend's status updates. You see any of the status updates, any links they posted up. See, Droid Dog posted something up. If you press and hold, you can see their picture, their cover picture. Proxy Grilled Cheese is doing lunch, so that's kind of awesome. I'm actually going to like that. To like something, just double tap on it. You can see that the thumbs up shows up. Comments, you just press in the corner, and it'll open up the area to comment. You can swipe down to dismiss it. Timo News posted something up. The Ecotarian posted a cool picture of a frog up, so I'm going to like that. And it does make it a lot easier to go through and see what's going on. You're updating friends, and I do like that. Pressing here, you can see my little default picture. Pressing and holding it. Right here, you can see the last app that I had open was Contacts. Anytime the last app you have open, you quickly access it just by swiping over to that side. Flipping over on this side, you see Facebook Messenger. Facebook Messenger handles both your Facebook messages and your regular text messages by default. And then swiping up will bring you into the app drawer. This is the view you get by default. We'll get into that side a little bit later, but this is what you have by default in your app drawer. You can customize this and add apps, remove apps. Pressing and holding it will allow you to do that. Press and hold and just remove it by moving it up there to rearrange things, so that's nice. Also, you have quick access to quickly post a status, share a photo, or check in somewhere. And by default, you have two panels like that. But over here are all the apps that are on this device. As you can see, most of them are actually just stock Android apps, the Facebook app, the Facebook Home app. You have your home settings. Instagram, this is the first one to come with Instagram preloaded, as well as Facebook Home. As far as AT&T apps, there's actually not too many. There's My AT&T, there's Visual Voicemail, and that's really about it from AT&T, which is kind of nice to see that there's not a lot of other software on this. Now, if you do not like Facebook or you want more of a stock Android experience, you scroll down, see where it says more, tap that, and you actually jump into a stock launcher. This is Android Jelly Bean. This is running Android 4.1.2 Jelly Bean. So you actually just jump into Jelly Bean. It's a notification tray. Jump to the apps. So it is kind of nice that if you don't like Facebook Home, you actually jump back into Facebook Home. You can go into settings. You can turn off Facebook Home. You can have it set to show the status bar if you really want to have your status bar up all the time. Though personally I feel like it ruins the look. It does look pretty clean without having the status bar up. But if you need to have it up, you can have that up all the time. You can also set it so it doesn't automatically jump into Facebook Home, the cover feed part of Facebook Home, as soon as you hit the power button, which is something I would suggest, just because having quick access like that is a double-edged sword. It's nice for you, but it's also nice for anybody who picks up your phone. So always have a lock on it, and you might want to turn that off if you get this device. Also can control how much data it uses, which is especially important if you don't have an unlimited plan. You can jump into the messages, adjust to the brightness. Like I said, by default it does handle your SMS messages. I like chat heads. Chat heads is actually a pretty cool thing. So I would, if I were to own this phone, I would actually say continue letting Facebook handle it, because Facebook Messenger handling it, because the chat heads, it'll allow you to see your messages no matter what you are in. So if you're in the browser, instead of having to jump into a separate app, the little bubble in the corner will pop up saying you have a message, and you just tap it and open it and jump into do what you need to do, and then close it right up. The bubble will stay in the corner and you can continue doing what you're doing. So I do really love that aspect of Facebook Home. Well, personally, that's just Facebook Messenger, because you can actually get that just using the Facebook Messenger without having Facebook Home. So that's available for anybody. So I would say that's one of the plus sides of this software. But also the fact that if you are not that into having Facebook but like to design the phone or just want something that's stock Android, it's as simple as pressing a couple of buttons and you have the stock one. And if you don't ever want to see Facebook Home, you can just simply turn it off. So that's pretty much the software experience on the HTC First with Facebook Home. Taking a look at the input methods available on the First, you see that right here we have the stock Jelly Bean keyboard, and this is literally the only keyboard that comes preloaded on this device. You don't have any third-party keyboards like Swipe. You also don't have an HTC keyboard on here. This goes to show that other than Facebook Home, this is literally a pretty stock Android device running Jelly Bean. And so the sign of that is the fact that you only have the Jelly Bean keyboard. Because this is not running the latest version of Jelly Bean, version 4.2, for running version 4.1.2, you don't have the tracing input method. However, you do have a nice keyboard that offers good amount of space in both portrait and landscape mode. And it also has the Google Voice input, which I will jump into. So if I hit the voice icon, while I am talking, it will start to transcribe what I'm saying. And I mean, that just goes to show, like I said, the input method on this is really good. It works fairly well, and what you come to expect from the stock keyboard. And it's just nice to see that, other than the fact that this is literally a stock device. The HTC first is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 400 series chipset. This is the 8930AA version of the chipset, so it has a 1.4 GHz dual-core Crate CPU and a Adreno 305 GPU. There's also a gig of low-powered DDR2 RAM on this device, with 791 megabytes of that free for the phone to access. As far as storage goes, there is 16 gigabytes with only 11.96 free for the user to access, which is a little sad, but it's higher than on some other devices. Performance in general on this device was well. Facebook Home performed pretty good. It didn't slow down the device. Like I was a little bit worried about it slowing down the device, but it did not do that, though I did have a couple of random reboots. It did that about 4 times while I've been reviewing this device. Not enough for me to say stay away from it, because there could have been plenty of things that they find that 3 of the times that happened was before the latest update to Facebook Home, so it could have been an issue there. It only happened once after the update, and that also may have been just me, how I had it in my pocket hitting the power button. Unfortunately, I don't know. I just know that it decided to reboot in my pocket. But 3 of those reboots happened before the update, so it's not enough for me to not recommend this device just based on that. And overall performance was quite nice. I was afraid that it was going to bog it down, but it did not at all, and so that part was nice. Voice quality could be better. The earpiece, I did find that sometimes the sound would get so distorted where you can hear the person, but you couldn't clearly make out certain words they were saying. Like, it would just make certain words very high volume-wise, so it would get really distorted. And through the speaker, it was just not that loud. Caller said that I sounded quieter than normal through the microphone, so that's, if your caller say you sound quiet on this, take that in mind, that it might be the microphone on this not picking up sound and we're producing it loud enough. As far as connectivity options go, you have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.0 low energy, and you also have NFC. I did have an issue getting NFC to work between this phone and my Nexus 4. I was trying to transfer a picture and it just was not happening. So that was a little bit disappointing, but NFC, it was able to read tags and stuff like that. I was just not able to use Android Beam to transfer a picture to my Nexus and transfer anything to my Nexus 4. As far as data connectivity goes, from your network, this is running on AT&T's LTE network, where it is available. If you do not have LTE where you are, you're going to fall back on their HSPA Plus network. Unusual for me, I found that I was falling back on HSPA Plus every once in a while, which is weird. I normally have a very strong LTE data connection here, though even falling back on HSPA Plus, I didn't have an issue with the data speeds. So overall, this device was good in that department. As far as battery life goes, there is a 2000 milliamp hour battery powering this device. And I was able to get through a day with no problem with normal usage. That included one day where I was on the phone for about 3 hours, and with this on medium settings, pushing in updates from Facebook, and me taking pictures, me being on the internet with it, and I was still able to make it through a day. So you shouldn't have an issue getting through a day of normal usage with this device. Since this is pretty much a stock Android Jelly Bean device, you have Chrome as your default browser. The main advantage of Chrome is the fact that it can sync between different devices. You can access your tabs. So say if I was signed in on my laptop and I wanted to access the tabs I had open there on my phone, hit menu and jump into other devices. And if I was signed in, it would show me a list of other devices that I'm logged in on and the tabs that I have open there. So that's pretty cool. It does not support Adobe Flash, just because Chrome just basically never did support Flash, not because it's a Jelly Bean device. But it does act pretty fast. Connect scrolling works. Just pinch zoom. To jump in between tabs, simply swipe from edge to edge. Can't do it slow though. You have to do it pretty quickly. Swipe from edge to edge. Or you can tap in the corner. See all the tabs you have open. If you hit menu, you have the option of opening new tabs and opening the incognito tab. So that is web browsing on the HTC First. Taking a look at the camera interface on the HTC First, we have a stock Android camera interface. Right here we have the preview of the last image taken, the on-screen shutter button. Here we have controls to switch from taking stills to videos to panoramic shots. Close that up. Right here we have the button to switch from using the 5 megapixel backside illuminated camera in the rear, which is an autofocus camera, to the 1.3 megapixel camera, which has a wide angle lens, which is pretty good, so that makes it so it's easier to get multiple people in a shot. So if you want to do a group picture for Facebook, I mean, that's a good feature to have on a phone like this. Right here we have controls to change the flash mode, change the white balance, the exposure level. There are scene modes. We have action, night, sunset, and party. And then here we have to turn geotagging on and off. We can also change the picture size from 5 megapixel all the way down to QVGA resolution. The zoom controls are on the screen. You cannot use the volume rocker to zoom in. And this does support tap to focus, so you can tap anywhere on the display to focus in on that area. Overall, pictures are not too bad on this device. Sometimes there was a little bit of muddiness, but never bad enough where it took away the quality of the image. So pictures you take with this are going to be worth sharing on Facebook. Though I have to say it was a little disappointing to see that Facebook didn't do anything special with the camera, like allowing you to quickly tag people or anything like that. It would have been nice to have, especially on a phone with Facebook. Hopefully in the future Facebook does something like that. As far as video goes, this phone can shoot full high-def video at 1080p. The front-facing camera can capture 720p video. You can also add effects. You can squish the face, make the eyes big, make a big mouth, stuff like that. So add silly effects and stuff like that to it, and also change the background. Up at sunset. So now you have a sunset scene going on. If you have the effects on, it will be set to, which one? 480p. It does not do high def videos with the effects on. Let me go back into the camera, sorry about that. Video quality is not bad at all. Continuous autofocus is supported, though you cannot tap to focus, which is a little sad, but continuous autofocus is supported. That's nice. You can't take pictures while recording. That I found a little bit weird, but you couldn't do it. Audio quality on the video was nice, and the continuous autofocus worked quite fast. Overall, I'd say the camera experience on this was not too bad. I just kind of wish that Facebook would have taken the initiative to add some Facebook-centric camera stuff onto this device. I think the beauty of the HTC First is that it's more than just the Facebook phone. Facebook Home does come preloaded on it. This is the first device to come with it, but it can be more than that if you want it to be. Facebook Home was surprisingly less intrusive than I thought it would be, and actually in times I thought it should be more integrated in certain areas such as the camera. But if you don't like Facebook Home, if you find it really intrusive but you want a good device with a pure Android experience, it's as simple as turning off Facebook Home, and then you have a pure Jelly Bean device running on the LTE network. So overall, I would have to say I wouldn't have any issues recommending this phone, though personally I would want it for a slightly cheaper price than $99 on a 2-year contract. But if you're looking for a good device, if you're into using Facebook and want something that is going to get you more into your social network and keeping up with your friends, then this is a great device for that. If you aren't into Facebook but you want a device that's going to give you good performance and has a pure Android experience without you rooting or going through and deleting everything that's on the phone, and has LTE, then this is a good phone for that too. For the full in-depth review of HTC First and plenty of other devices, head over to the site boymeetsphone.com. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and found it informative, and to subscribe to the YouTube channel to keep up with my latest reviews. So this has been Yosarian from boymeetsphone.com. Thanks for watching.